Well, it's been a very strange day today. And Bar, well, he's needed to find somewhere to be quiet and think. I wonder if you ever had days like that, where you just need to find a quiet corner and sit and think. Well, Bar's come outside and he's come to our art project and he's sat here, and as you can see, he's found a lovely cross decorated with red material fluttering in the breeze, and he's come here to think about the story he heard yesterday, the story of Jesus and all the horrible things that happened to him. And he's just come to be quiet and to think. Near where Bar is sitting and thinking, on the railings, there's a collection of crosses that's been made by people from our church. Some of them made of wood, some of them beautifully painted. There's a knitted cross there. They're hanging in the breeze and just swinging gently. A rather lovely way to think about the story of Good Friday, the story we heard yesterday. Well, I wonder what story Vicar David might have for us today. Let's find out, shall we?
Empty streets. Eagle was used to being the only bird flying this high. Her wings were so strong she could ride the thermals and get the best view of the city from here. Higher and higher she soared. This city meant so much to her with its beauty. It had been here for hundreds of years. Yet right now, the feeling in the air Eagle sensed was that something unforgettable had happened here. Something that she couldn't quite understand. It all seemed to be to do with this man Jesus. His friends had tried to describe to her what they knew. She so wished she had met him, but all she had was their stories. In her head, words like servant king, storyteller, direction giver, prayerful one, answering voice, healing touch. Eagle's friend Mouse still kept scurrying around, saying the words, remember me, over and over. She had even woken up in the night to hear Mouse saying those words in his sleep. Mouse was still holding on tight to that crumb of bread he had kept after the last meal Jesus had with his friends. It seemed to cheer him up and give him hope. The eagle knew what she had seen from her flight over the crosses on that strange Friday. Surely that was the end of the story. But yet, when her friends talked about this man Jesus, he seemed to be unlike anyone who had ever walked through Jerusalem's gates. The man who had ridden in on her friend Donkey had done nothing but care for people. He listened to them. He answered their questions and truly understood. He had noticed the poor and ordinary and told them how important they are to God. Donkey says he even cried for people. He had come with good news to share with those huge crowds. Those bossy officials who thought they were in charge had made plans against Jesus. What had they done? Kat had told him how cross they were with Jesus and how they didn't like the way the crowd listened to Jesus and didn't listen to them. Every Saturday, this city falls very quiet. everyone stays at home with their family and has time to think and pray. It's such a quiet day anyway, but as Eagle flew over places she knew so well and a landscape she had searched all her life, it all looked different. Her eyes picked out something new on the rocky hillside. A huge stone that would have taken about 3 strong humans had been rolled over the front of the cave. No one was going to get in or out of there again, she thought to herself. Strange, but she could see the uniform of 2 Roman soldiers guarding the closed cave. I wonder why they are guarding a cave. Soldiers only do what they are told, and they are definitely on duty. It's going to be a long, cold night for that pair. Eagle swooped lower and flew over Dog's home. Dog had told her how very worried about this sad family he was. He had been trying to cheer them up by licking their hands and sitting close so they could stroke him. No one was saying much. They did seem to be praying to Creator God, but they were looking very confused. Mary kept saying, "Oh, our friend Jesus, our Jesus, what are we going to do now?" Martha had given up doing anything and was sitting still by her sister. Dog noticed that their brother Lazarus was the only one who seemed to be most awake. Dog had told Eagle every day he would light a candle and say, "Jesus is the light of the world." Dog doesn't understand, but somehow the brightness of the candle still lights up their home in all this dark time. Eagle flew away from Jerusalem to find Donkey in his stable. When she got there, Donkey was quietly standing in the dry straw near his manger. The blanket Jesus had used when he rode into the city was still laid on his back. Eagle noticed something she had not spotted before. Peeking out from the blanket on the back of Donkey's neck was marked on his fur a cross. I'd not noticed that before, she thought. Donkey and Eagle talked through what the eagle had seen on her flight over the city. Just before they took some rest in the dry stable, Donkey looked up at Eagle. I once heard a story about a stable. A new baby was born to a family who were travelling with nowhere to stay but a stable just like this. They put their newborn baby in a manger, just like mine. The family had been told that their baby was born to be a king, whose kingdom would never end. It's how the story was told to me, and it came back to my mind as I was eating my hay. Eagle settled herself on a rafter in the stable, and she too remembered some old shepherds from the fields of Jerusalem sitting around one of their fires and retelling a story like that. Their version had angels in it. You know what shepherds are like when they get telling stories. But perhaps that really happened. It was a long time ago I heard them tell that story. But I think the baby's name was Jesus, just like our friend we have just lost. He was called Jesus.
Crowns and crowns, crowns and crowns, following the steps of Jesus. Crowns and crowns, crowns and crowns, we're together with the crowns and crowns. He rides into the town, the king without a crown, humbly on a donkey, and the crowds are cheering loud. Disciples meet to eat, together they will feast. Jesus gives them bread and wine and says, remember me. Crowns and crowns, crowns and crowns, following the steps of Jesus. Crowns and crowns, crowns and crowns, we're together with the crowns and crowns. Good Friday is the day they take the Lord away. Arrested, but your will be done, is what we hear him pray. He is crucified, with thieves right by his side. A crown of thorns upon his head, and friends all ran to hide. Crowns and crowns, crowns and crowns, following the steps of Jesus. Crowns and crowns, crowns and crowns, we're together with the crowns and crowns. Buried in the cave, the Lord is in the grave. A heavy stone to seal the place where Jesus has been laid. But then there comes a